with Earth Alchemy, and I wanted to touch bases and let you guys get a little seasoning of my personality, little taste. But anyways, I'm Cheryl. I am Earth Alchemy, and I've been reading the Corpus Hermeticum, the Initiation to Hermetics, the Hermetica of Hermes Trismegistus, however you want to pronounce it. You want to say it. Okay, so I am on chapter 6, and what we're going to do is we're going to continue reading, and we're going to do a little bit of commentary because I've been asked to do some commentary on the book. So we're going to go through this the best we can. And yeah, so here we go. 1. I will recount to thee this sermon, Logos 2, O Tat, that thou mayest cease to be without the mysteries of God beyond all name. And mark thou well how that which to the many seem unmanifest will grow most manifest for thee. Now, where it manifests, it would not be, for all that is made manifest is subject to becoming, for it hath been made manifest. But the unmanifest forever is, for it doth not desire to be made manifest. It ever is, and maketh manifest all other things. Poof! Being himself unmanifest, as ever being and ever making manifest, himself is not made manifest. God is not made himself by thinking manifest, i.e., thinking into manifestation. He thinketh all things manifest. Now, thinking manifest deals with things made alone, for thinking manifest is nothing else than making. 2. He, then, alone, who is not made, 'tis clear, is both beyond all powers of the thinking manifest, and is unmanifest. And as he thinketh all things manifest, he manifests through all things, and in all, and most of all in whatsoever things he wills to manifest. Got it? Do thou then, Tat, my son, pray first unto our Lord and Father, the one and only one, from whom the one doth came, to show his mercy unto thee, in order that thou mayest have the power to catch a thought of this so mighty God, one single beam of him to shine unto thy thinking, for thou alone sees the unmanifest, in that it itself unmanifest. If then thou hast the power, he will, Tat, manifest to thy mind's eye. The Lord begirdeth not himself to anything, but manifests himself through the whole world. Thus has the power of taking thought, seeing it, and grasping it in thy own hands, and gazing face to face upon God's image. But if what is within thee even is unmanifest to thee, how then shall he manifest who is within thyself be manifest for thee by means of outer eyes? 3. But if thou wouldst see him, bethink thee of the sun, bethink thee of the moon's course, bethink thee of the order of the stars. Who is the one who watcheth or that order? For every order hath its boundaries marked out by place and number, mathematics. The sun's the greatest god of gods in heaven, to whom all of the heavenly gods give places unto king and master. And he, this is so great one, he greater than the earth and sea, endures above him circling smaller stars than him, out of respect to whom, or out of fear of whom, my son, doeth he do this? Nor equal is the course each of these stars describe in heaven. Who then is he who maketh out the manner of their course and its extent? 4. The bear up there that turneth round itself and carry around the whole cosmos with it, who is the owner of that instrument? Who he who hath set round the sea its bounds? Who he who hath set on its seat the earth? For Tat, there is someone who is the maker and the Lord of all things. It could not be that number, place, and measure could be kept without someone to make them. No order whatsoever could be made by that which lacketh place and lacketh measure. Nay, even this is not without a Lord, my son. For if the orderless lacks something, in that it is not Lord of order's path, it also is beneath a Lord, the one who hath not yet ordered it ordered. Yeah. Okay. So simulation theory, huh? 5. Were that it were possible for thee to get thee wings and soar onto the air, and poise midway between earth and heaven, behold the earth's solidity, the sea's fluidity, the flowering of its streams, the spaciousness of the air, fire's swiftness, and the course of the stars, the swiftness of heaven's circuit around them, all. Most blessed sight were it, my son, to see all these beneath one sway, the motionless in motion, the unmanifest made manifest, whereby is made this order of the cosmos, and the cosmos which we see of order. 6. If thou wouldst see him too through things that suffer death, doth on the earth and in the deep, think of man's being fashioned in the womb, my son, and strictly scrutinize the art of him who fashions him, and learn who fashioneth this fair and godly image of man. Who then is he who traceth out the circles of the eyes? Who he who boreth out the nostrils and the ears? Who he who opened the portal of the mouth? Who he who doth stretch out and tie the nerves? Who he channels out veins? Who he who hearteth the bones? Who he who covereth the flesh with skin? Who he separates the fingers and the joints? Who he who widens out a treadeth for the feet? And who he diggeth out the ducts? Who he spreadeth out the spleen? Who he shapeth the heart like to a pyramid? Who he would stretch the ribs together? Who he wideth the liver out? Who he hath make lungs like to a sponge? Who he hath make belly stretch so much? Who he hath doth making prominent the parts most honorable, so that they may be seen, while hiding out of sight those of least honor? Tongue twisters. 7. Behold many arts employed on one material, how many labors on one single sheet, and all exceeding fair, and all in perfect measure, yet all diversified. Who made them all? And what, scratch the and, what mother or what shire, save God alone, unmanifest, who hath made all things by his will? 8. And no one saith a statue or a picture comes to be without a sculpture or without a painter. Doeth then such workmanship as this exist without a worker? What depth of blindness, what deep stupidity, what the depth of ignorance. See then, thou son, tat, deprivest works of the worker? Nah. Nay, rather is he greater than all names, so great he is, the father of them all. For verily he is the only one, and this is his word, to be a father. 9. So, if thou force me somewhat too bold to speak, his being is conceiving of all things and making them. And as without its maker, it's impossible that anything should be. So ever is he not, unless he ever makes things, in heaven, in air, in earth, in deep, in all the cosmos, in every part that is, and that is not of everything. For there is not in all the world that is not. He himself, both things that are and things that are not, the things that are, he hath made them manifest. He keepeth things that are not in himself. He is the God beyond all name. He, the unmanifested, he the most manifest, he whom the mind alone can contemplate, he visible to the eyes as well. He is the one of no body, the one of many bodies, nay, rather he is of every body. Naught is there which he is not, For all are he, and he is all. And for this cause hath he all names, and that they are one fathers. And for this cause hath he himself no nome, and that he's father of them all. Who then may sing the praise of thee, or the praise to thee? Whither again am I to turn my eyes to sing thy praise, above, below, within, and without? There is no way, no place is there about thee, nor anything, nor any other thing of things that are. All are in thee, all are from thee, O thou who givest all and takest not, for thou hast all, and naught is there thou'st not hast. 11. And when, O Father, shall I hymn thee? For none can seize thy hour or time. For what, again, shall I sing him? For things that thou hast made, or things that thou hast not? For things thou hast made manifest, or things thou hast concealed? How, further, shall I hymn thee, as being of myself, as having something of my own, as being other? For that thou art whatever I may be, thou art whatever I may do, thou art whatever I may speak. For thou art all, and there is nothing else which thou art not. Thou art all that which doth exist, and thou art which doth not exist. Mind when thou thinkest, and the Father thou makest, and God when thou doest energies, and good, and maker of all things. For that the subletter part of matter is the air, of air the soul, of soul the mind, and of mind God. Okay, so commentary on it is, let's touch on the simulation theory. Simulation theory is that we are being controlled by some unknown force, that it's a program. But if we look at it in the Greek mythology of this, because that's where the Hermes comes into play in Greek mythology. So this is as far back as it goes. And Tat is a god, or soon to be god. Maybe he's not a god in this book, but in the stories in mythology, he ends up being one of the Greek gods. I'm not sure exactly what his illuminations are as far as in what is his powers. But so Hermes is talking to one of his students, which will eventually be a Greek god. And he's telling the Greek god, soon to be Greek god, that what God is not something that we can see or touch or feel. God is everything, and God projects images, and God also comes through in the triskate, through the sun, meaning it is a three-body system. So God, in the chapter before, is the monad. The monad is just the primordial being essence of everything. So, and it comes from the monad, which is the triangle. So it would be like this, then the sun, and then the spirit. So like the sun is the manifestation for us to see as God, in a sense, but it is not God itself. Light is the manifestation of God, but it is not God itself. The calculations of the planetary movements, which most mathematicians would say math is the God, or the language of gods, which can be true in the sense of that the equations that turn out from God can become a language. Not that God meaning for that to be language. The measurement itself is not God, but the maker of all of it. So to say that the simulation theory is correct, they could say that, but would they be correct? I'm not sure. I mean, like, do they think that it's an alien controlling the solar system or the galaxies? Do they believe that God is something to be cherished as sacred? Do they live in the word or the monad, which in like the previous chapter is the cup or the monad, the cup being the human body and the monad being the spirit that's within the human body. So that's my commentary on this chapter, and I will be going to the 7th chapter. just wanted to add an extra little bonus. I was thinking about it after I stopped the video, and I wanted to continue on the simulation theory part, where, as in, if we look at it through a materialistic lens, as in there is something that is simulating our reality in the sense that it is controlling our free will by planetary motion, by energies, frequencies, whatever. I don't think that it is, in my personal opinion, for the simple fact that with understanding Hermetic principles, all is manifested through God. Which meaning, all is mind, yes, but not all is my mind, no. All is mind of the manifested God or unmanifested God, meaning that it is no matter what I do in the world, I can manifest good and God. I am not God or completely good. I am part of the manifestation. And being a program in the sense, like how many simulations does this program hold? Is it ever changing? Is it everlasting? Is it timeless? Can these programs be viewed as not just archetypes but emanations of light? Um, do these programs run from memory or a spark? Do these programs, as we would see it in a computer system, where they have to have fiber optic wiring or Wi Fi to simulate anything to transfer data or energy? I don't think so, because energy is never created nor destroyed. And being a program, in the sense as a computer program and in the material world, we would have to program it. And I don't think, even with today's technology, that we could manifest or even program something as cosmic, as vast as the universe and the galaxies and the multi-universe and the multi-galaxies. I think this is something uncomprehendable, and our view on it is more looking, we're not even looking past our own nose. If we see it as a simulation, like a freaking computer program, then what's the point? Really, is it the point that I'm being monitored like a sim, and like they're just typing it in somewhere, way above me, that I'm going to do this every day and do that and do this and eat that? I don't think so, because I do believe in some sort of free will. Um, in the chapters that I've gone through in this book, it talks about like what God is in the sense of the monad and the primordial essence of everything, good and evil, because good and evil is only something that humans could be. In the chapters I've read, it states that God is good and good is God, meaning that the only thing that is good would be God, and I am definitely not God. And so, like, I know my dark side, my shadow side. So I think walking the middle path on this earth, whether you're light, you're dark, you walk a middle path, the moderation is the only way. And so for a simulation theory thought in my head is kind of ridiculous.